So I was gonna do a Warlock build originally, and it was a pretty great build as well. The type of build that makes supers a dime a dozen. But there was a very specific class with a very specific aspect that made it almost impossible for me to showcase the Warlock build for how much they were stealing my kills. So saving the Warlock build for another day, it's time to show you guys a Titan build that honestly just needs a buff. I mean, I don't think I see enough Titans using it, to be honest. I mean, it does do some slight type shit like instant room clearing, infinite ability, infinite health, max damage resist, 30% debuff, 25% weapon buff, 165% buff to abilities, infinite ignitions, a speed boost, Sydney Sweeney's number, instant 2 mil in the bank, extra foot in length and girth, and a free subscription to the Ian Evolution channel. Drop a like and sub, like some slight type shit, you know? What's crazy is that there clearly aren't enough Titans using it, and it's like bizarre to me. Let's get into this build, so some of you can stop being some mindless sheep and instead get on this original, never before seen grind set type build. Starting off with the subclass, of course. For our super, it's Thunder Crash. Why? So you can get close to the enemies faster. Oh, you thought you were using this for damage? What are you, a hunter? Everything about your existence is located right in this little square right here. And I'm about to bless you with the knowledge of how to get 3 of those. And that's by equipping the Strand Melee. You're welcome. After that, we are using the Shackle Grenade. Thank you, Diddy, for the 5. But now after that, we're getting on to the aspects. And for our first one, it's something slight, never before seen. Some might even say that I'm a madman for even recommending something as mid as this. It's consecration. I mean, there's just not really much to say about it. There's a cool animation, and honestly, it's all I needed to do. But up next, it's knockout. Makes you amplified, heals you on a melee kill, and buffs your melee damage. I mean, did you need anything more? But let's move on to the fragments, and whoops, there aren't any. I tricked you. And as proof that this build doesn't need any, here's literal footage of my Titans still being as potent as possible in 15 light under content. But I guess we like to be optimal around here. So fine, let's get into the actual fragments. Up first will be Facet of Sacrifice. Getting kills while amplified by the knockout aspect will grant bonus darkness energy, something slight. Next we have the Facet of Devotion. Killing an enemy affected by strand or stasis grants bonus light energy. Just some hand-in-hand type shit. Next is Facet of Courage, because why not have the 10% more consecration damage while the target is debuffed by a darkness ability. After that, Facet of Protection for a flat additional 15% damage reduction on top of a tier 10 resilience and elemental resists. And Prismatic's built-in 20% damage reduction, which just calculating real quick gives you about a near infinite damage resist, something like that. Just something slight. And lastly, the Facet of Dawn. For an absolute millisecond that you have a lapse in judgment and make the unforgivable sin that is to use your weapons in a first-person shooter. It's just a 25% bonus to your weapons when you do though. But on that note, let's get into our weapons. 2 area denial frames and tractor cannon. 1 for darkness and 1 for light. Why? Have you seen the amount of transcendence energy they give you? 1 stasis splash here, 1 void splash there, and you're off to the races. Pop transcendence and start sliding and meleeing. And for those enemies that dare to still be standing after you just set off 5 whole nukes, you do what any rational Titan would do. You use the tractor cannon to apply a 30% debuff and set off another one. What was that? What's the best exotic to pair with this? You act like Titans just have a plethora of exotics to go off of. It's obviously Synthoceps. Now for those that farmed your heart out for an exotic class item that was Spirit of Inmost Light and Spirit of Synthos, you don't need it. You will have Transcendence up 100% of the time. Pop that, and there you go. A better Inmost Light. You don't need it. But let's get into these mods, fellas. I think you can understand where I'm going at with this so far. We are fitting a theme here. Lord knows our melee needs it. Actually, unironically, you do need a lot of melee type mods for this build because Frenzy Blade actually sucks when it comes to regenning abilities. But with that said, let's get into the headpiece. We got 3 hands-on mods because we just want our super. We gotta get close to the enemies fast. And what's a better way to do that than with Thunder Crash? And Vex Breaker, super important. I don't even know what it does. I don't even care to read it, but it has the symbol of a fist on it. So something tells me I need it. Just a hunch. Moving on to the arms. We have 3 heavy-handeds. All jokes aside, this is actually a very meta mod setup right here on just the arms. You can create orbs within seconds of each other just by punching enemies. But this is probably the only serious part of the entire video. Moving on to the chest piece, Obviously we need melee damage resists. Our whole personality is to just punch. And if we're in range to punch enemies, they're in range to punch us. You see where I'm getting at? Moving on to the legs, invigoration. Picking up orbs from our melee kills will grant melee energy. It's crazy how that works, right? Lastly, we got 3 outreaches on the class item. Every time I place that barricade down or thruster, I just get melee energy. No brainer strats, fellas. I don't know why no one's using this. I don't know why people aren't using this more. Alright guys, all jokes aside, if you haven't caught on long enough, this video was an entire meme build. But though it was a meme build, it's still pretty potent. It was unironically probably the best build in the whole game. And though people want to say that Titans weren't overpowered in the last season, this build was definitely potent last season. Titans did get a lot of buffs and a lot of quality of life changes. I will be going over those in videos in the future. But as of right now, I hope you guys have enjoyed that video. And if you have, hit the like, subscribe, comment below, all that jazz. Take care and peace.